3 skills to develop in 2024 if you are trying to become a better person, a better leader, a better person in business, a better leader of your organization. 3 skills, amongst many others, to develop in 2024. So the first skill I would say to practice, get a coach to help you with, whatever you need to do, would be the skill of getting over yourself, getting past yourself, and doing it in spite of. So I was watching something the other day, and it spoke about how there's a part of your brain. Now, I did not research this. Do not come for me. Come for your mom. But that there is a part of your brain that develops every time you push past, and it probably could be related to many things, but there's a part of your brain that develops every time you push past your feelings of, I don't want to do it. So it's kind of like athletes. Athletes will work out even when they don't feel like it. So to the point where there is no, I don't feel like it, it becomes a habit. And so if you are really trying to take your finances to a new level, your business to a new level, the way you interact with people, so to a new level, in an effort to grow, build, scale, and just become happier, I will push past the constant nagging feeling of I don't want to. And not when somebody's pushing your boundaries or you have to compromise yourself. I'm talking about if you commit to going to the gym a few times a week, but you get up in the morning, and I've been going to the gym since before my daughter was born. My daughter is 15, let's say 20 years. And I still get up in the morning and be like, I know you lying. 20 years in, I know you lying. But it doesn't matter. If I say I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the gym. And I'm like those people you see on social media. I usually feel better while I'm there and once I leave. But, oh my God. And then I have to go in the morning because then in the evening, it just becomes a thing, which is easier. Okay. But my point is, I don't really pay attention to the feelings of I don't want to, which could be, so let's go a little deeper. I think it's also related to probably trauma responses I developed in childhood where I didn't get to be heard. So it's probably a little easier for me to push past myself. So I'm not talking about that where you're dealing with somebody or you're dealing with something and it doesn't feel right. What I'm talking about is times when it's going to better your life, better your body, better your circumstances, better your finances, but you are so conditioned to do it differently that you think the wrong way is the way that you should be doing it. So keep in mind, when you first start to do something differently that is better for you, it's going to be very uncomfortable. It's going to feel wrong. It's not what you're used to. Your body is going to be trying to put you into survival mode. In those times, you need to then push past that. Kind of ignore it and say, well, we kind of have to develop new habits in order to have a better life or the life that we desire. So the number one thing period, I would tell you is get over yourself and push past the I don't want to, I don't feel like it vibe that you get from yourself because you've been doing it in a way that doesn't work for you for so long. So that would be number 1. Number 2, I would develop the skill of networking. Now, I told y'all for years I didn't network. And guess what? My money reflected it. And what I find is the one thing so I would develop the skill of networking. But for me, the one thing that I found that has dramatically and drastically changed my income is introducing my product or service to everyone that I feel would benefit from it and people who I feel are interested. Does everyone buy? No. I get way more buys than I did when I didn't introduce it. So for instance, I was on a call with a lady who was booking for Hawaii, right? We have a retreat in Hawaii. Depends on when you're watching this. But the retreat in Hawaii is in May, right? And she was making sure everything was okay. We usually do not talk on the phone with people. People can book everything online, but something ended up happening. A lady got really sick. She wanted to just make sure everything was in order because she had been in hospital for a while, right? Fine, talking. So while we're talking, she knows somebody else that's going to Hawaii with us, and we're talking, and I introduce the last villa that we had available for Bali. And I just introduced it. I said, you know, you would, if you are really excited about this trip, then you would be interested in this trip. That's it. That one statement made the company $7,000. I'm being very forthcoming and vulnerable. So many of you have not developed skills that may cost you as far as time in the development. But after you gather these skills, nobody can take them away from you. And every time you use them, let's say they make you $10,000, $7,000, $500. Develop the skill of networking and find where you are weak in that area. Because I don't care how many people you have working. You can get headhunters. You can get salespeople, you can get everybody, but you're still going to have to go out sometimes and talk about your company. You might be at the racetrack. I don't know why the racetrack came to mind, but a festival by your friend, at a dinner, and somebody sitting next to you might need what you have. This lady was talking about the desire to be around more like-minded women. That's what she was talking about before I introduced it. I really am excited to be around because with what I do and coming from where I come from, I really don't get the opportunity to be around like-minded women who are making the money that I'm making. And when I introduced it, she was actually happy. Oh my God, you have space left? I know you sold out. Yes, I had asked for another villa just to see if I could get one, and I was able to get one. And so develop the skill of networking. Figure out where you can grow in that area, because that skill alone, like this is not what you know, is who you know. I'm starting to realize that. I negated that for many years. It's true. Or how you know who you know, or how you talk to who you. It is not who, it's not what you know, it's how you talk to who you know. That's how we're going to change that. Because they, you know, just say who you know. You be like, oh, I got to know these people to make money. And it kind of tricks you. It's how you talk to who you know. You got to learn. And I'm going to make that number 3. So number 1, I would say would be make sure you master the self and get over yourself and learn how to push past that I don't feel like it. Number 2 is to develop the skill of networking. And then number 3, I would say if you are not a good communicator, if you are not a good speaker, if you cannot communicate your products and services or communicate effectively to your team, or you haven't developed your team because you're scared to lead. I've met people like that as well. I would say a great skill to start developing in 2024, because it may take you a little longer, but not if you hunker down like we talked about in the last podcast. Develop the skill of communicating. If you can communicate what you do effectively to show people that you have what they need, that will make you money by itself. In itself, I literally go on these international conferences and retreats and discuss how people, different ways people can grow their business. My mouthpiece makes me money. My brain too, but my mouthpiece makes me money. So even if you're not a speaker and you're a cosmetologist, an esthetician, a shoe salesman, that you do need to talk for that, a nail tech, all of these other things where you don't feel you really need to talk. Imagine being a nail tech and you increase your skill in communication, and instead of just polishing and make money from polishing or dips or acrylic, you learn to do add-ons. You learn to communicate how to effectively get the customer to understand that add-ons would work for them. And that brings in an extra, let's say $5,000 a month. I'm going to set that right there. So the 3 things in 2024 that I would recommend you develop or put in your skill set arsenal will be: number 1, get over I don't feel like it. Number 2, develop the skill of networking. I had ignored that for many, many years, and I'm pretty sure if it's making me money now, that means it costs me a lot of money. So don't be better than me. I'm doing this so you could be better than me. And number 3, I would say develop your communication. I started studying communication in undergrad, not even knowing. I guess I knew deep down. However, I didn't consciously know that I would be doing this work, but I was always intrigued by it. Thank goodness. So I will talk to you later. I want to hop on before I went to Walmart to get some gluten-free bread. Yes, your girl is allergic to the gluten. Glad I found out though. Look at that. And I will talk to you later.